Hi everyone, I am back with the long-awaited tutorial for the stationery box that I have shown in two previous videos. There was one following the tutorial, and then the second one, which is this one right here, I did a little bit of a modification. So this is the one I'm going to show you how to make. And let me start off by saying that this original tutorial for the stationery box was created by a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator years back. I don't know if she's still a demo or not, but her name is Jackie Topa. I actually got the tutorial from my BFF in California, Miss Margaret. She was, I think she was a demo at the time, and, you know, created a couple of these as gifts, whatever, and then, you know, as time passed, she just didn't make them anymore, and she passed on some tutorials to me, and this is one of them. So, thanks to her sending that to me, I get to show you guys how to make it. There are some other tutorials on YouTube about how to make this stationery box, and there are a couple of different versions or different ways to make it. The original way is to use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper to make the basic piece of the box, not the lid, but the box. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't carry a lot of 12 by 12 paper in my room. I don't have any, I mean, I have some, but I don't always have it on hand. So I wanted to come up with a way to convert this into using a couple of 8.5 by 11 sheets of cardstock, and that's what I did. So there's a slight difference in the way that this one's going to be made. The original version has some little flaps in the back, and mine doesn't. And then I did add, for extra stability, a little panel right here on the side of cardstock, just to make that a little more stronger. I did do that after filming the project share of this, and one thing I will recommend is using a heavy cardstock when creating this box. I'm using Stampin' Up! Cardstock, which is what I used on this one also. This one I did in the Real Red. So today, I'm just going to push that aside. Today I'm going to use Calypso Coral and Pool Party, and I'm also using a Designer Series paper stack that just retired. It's called A Little Foxy. So it's the one with all the little fox print stuff in it. Really cute. I love these little hearts. So that's the papers I'm going to use. I'm not going to show you how to decorate the outside of the box. I'm not going to really decorate the lid. I'm going to just kind of show you guys how to put the box together with the matting. And then on the inside, I'm not going to go through and do like the little cards and stuff. I've made the 3x3s, and I've made the little like gift tags. I've not made any of the A2 size cards for this newer box, so I'll show you guys my little cards at the end, but that's all kind of like personal taste and up to whatever you want to do. So I really don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm going to try to get it done as quickly as I can, but I don't want to cut anything out either, so bear with me, just in case it gets a little long. Okay, so we're going to start with the box, and all of my stuff is marked. And, alright, front of the box, back of the box, okay. I hope I don't have any missing pieces, but it looks like I might have a piece missing from here. I don't think I cut that mat. So we might have to do that along the way, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. We're just going to get into the tutorial because I've already wasted enough time. Okay, yeah, we'll have to cut a mat for that. Alright, so I'm going to move some stuff out of the way so we don't get confused with what we're working with here. Put those. So, 2 pieces of cardstock for the box. One is going to be basically the front of your box. One is going to be the back of the box. So these are going to be one piece at 8.5 by 7. Okay. Then your front piece is going to be 10 by 7. So now we're going to score. And I'm just going to grab my scoreboard here. Alright, we're going to start with our back piece, which is your smaller one, the 8.5 by 7. Okay, stick that aside. So with your 8.5 by 7, on your 8.5 inch side, you're going to score this at 1 1/4. So 1 1/4, and then 7 1/4. Okay, so then you're going to turn it, and on your 7-inch side, you're going to score it at 5. So then you should have something that looks like this. If I can get the score lines to show up. And then you're going to take your 10 by 7 piece. So we'll go ahead and take this off. So your 10 by 7, and on your 10-inch side, you're going to score at 2, and then 8, and that one you're going to turn, and on your 7-inch side, you're going to score at 5. Bone folder has a chip in it. Oh no! That actually makes me really sad because I can't get the green one anymore. Okay, so this one should look like that. Alright, now we're going to set that aside and go ahead and assemble this part of the box. So you're going to want to score, or not score, you're going to want to fold on your score lines here. This one. Do this one. And this one. Okay. So this piece is going to be the back of the box. And this piece is going to be the front of the box. So what we're going to do is, since these need to be overlapped right here, we need to cut these tags. So these on the back side, we are going to cut these tabs off, and I'm going to look at my score marks here. So just like that, just straight across. And straight across this side. There we go. So that's what your back piece should look like. Now, the front piece, we are going to do the same thing. I want to look at this one and make sure, yes, we did do the same thing. So again, we're going to cut these little tabs off. Just cutting nice and straight. Both sides. Okay, so this is going to be your front piece that will wrap around like this. So now we have to connect the two bottom flaps, and in order to do that, I am actually going to use my Tombow glue because I think it's going to work better. And I'm actually hoping that it's not running out. I do have another one but I have to open it. Alright. So, we're going to overlap these, and you can overlap them whichever direction you want. You could do the front on the back on the front, you know, whatever floats your boat. So I'm actually going to do the front piece over the back piece, just because it gives me a nicer finished look in the front. But before we do that, it's going to be a lot easier if we attach our side pieces right here, our two little side flaps. So let me grab, I know I just cut those. Where did I put them? Right here. So I'm using Pool Party for mine. So these are your little side pieces here. And it's just, I just add these for extra stability. And they are 1 1/8 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these really quick because it's going to be so much easier to attach them while the box is still flat. So we'll get these attached. Right on our little sides here. And it adds a little bit more color to the box also if you're using an accent color as your mat. You can skip the matting process and just do a solid color, whoops, that was way off, a solid colored box with just your designer paper, but I like the extra matting. I like the look of it, and I like that it helps stabilize the box, and hopefully it will last longer that way. So there we've got our little side tabs. Okay, so now we're going to take our Tombow and put it all over the bottom. And now we're going to line this piece up. And you don't want to go over that score mark in the back. So I need to move this so I can stay in frame for you guys. So you want to line this up just in front of that score mark. So that way the back of your box will still fold upward. Like that. Okay, so now you should have something that looks kind of like this. Kind of weird. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do our matting on the inside right here, which is this piece here, and I did not cut the DSP for this, so we're going to do that. Because if I don't, I'm going to throw the entire thing off, so sorry. Oh, and there's my phone. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we're going to do this, and I grab my cutter really quick, and we're going to cut the designer paper for this piece. So I'm going to have this back piece, just like I did on this one, match the two front pockets. So I need to go through and see which ones are my front pockets. Give me 1 second. I'm not that organized with this today. The front pockets are that one. Okay. Alright, we're going to use the little flags right here as our front pocket. Or our back pocket, I mean. Ooh, all baffled. Okay, so we're going to cut this at 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. So there's my 2 3/4. right there. And my 5 3/4 right there. Okay. Super quick, super easy. We're gonna get these matted together. All right, now your mat is gonna be 5 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then, like I said, this is 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. And we'll just get this on here. And then we will be able to go ahead and adhere this to the back. Now make sure that the piece that you put your little flaps on is in the back. That's going to be the back of your box. And again, this could be a little bit lengthy of a video just because of all of the matting. If I would have thought about it, I would have actually like glued all the mats together and then just had one piece to glue down, but I didn't think about it. Alright, so we're going to attach this to the back, just like so. So there we have the back inside, okay? So it's going to look like this, you know, once we get it done. Alright, so now we're going to work on doing our little pockets. We've got a large pocket that goes in the front that we need to start with. Where is my large pocket? Well, the main pocket, and then we've got 2 smaller pockets that I'm going to set out. Here we go. So our, excuse me, our main pocket is this piece here, and this measures 8.5 by 4 1/4. Okay, and then that piece we're going to score. So gotta find the notes on that one. Okay. 8.5 by 4 1/4. We're gonna score both sides at 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so we're just gonna pull out the little scoreboard here. So we're going to do 1 1/4 on this side, and then we're going to flip it around and do 1 1/4 on this side. And that's going to be our main front pocket. So we're going to go ahead and mat this up, and our mat is 5 7/8 by 2 7/8. So it's actually the same size as the one that we just did in the back of the box. Oh, I forgot a score mark. I'm sorry. See, you guys, my head is all over the place today. Okay, so we're going to grab the larger scoreboard. Oh, okay. This is one of those little tedious things. Okay, 1 1/4. Okay, so we're still going to do 1 1/4. Oh, jeez, I hope you guys are actually not confused right now, because I am. 1 1/4. Then you're going to flip it 1 1/4, and then on our long side, so on our 4 1/4 inch side, we're going to score 1 1/4 again. But you know what? I want to make sure that my mat is going to fit. Yeah. So confused today. Alright, 1 1/4 here. I absolutely feel like I'm totally fumbling around in this video right now. Okay, so now we're going to put our front. You should have 3 score lines. Put our mat on the front. And then our designer piece is going to be 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. And get that attached. This one is not a super fancy piece of designer paper because most of it's going to be covered up. It's going to get covered with the smaller pockets, and then once you have your stuff inside, you're not really going to see that design piece unless it's empty. So I just picked something that's not super important as far as the pattern goes, but it's still cute. Alright, so that's matted. We'll go ahead and fold on our score lines here. And then we're going to get this attached. So basically what we're going to do is attach this piece like this. So, I can't remember if I cut these tabs off or not. Yes, we have to cut the tabs off. It's been a little while since I've made one of these boxes. So, yeah, forgive me for kind of being all over the place. Probably not going to be one of my best tutorials. But I have been promising you guys this tutorial for quite some time now. So figured I should just sit down and get her done. Okay, so we're going to take our little corners off. And then our bottom flap here we're going to glue down. And I'm using my Tombow. I get a little bit more wiggle room with the Tombow glue than the score tape. And I think it actually, in the long run, holds better than the score tape after a while. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and line this up pretty much on top of the one that we just did. Not crossing over that score line. So this is also going to give more stability to the bottom of the box because this is our third layer of cardstock on the bottom, pretty much. So it should look like this. Then these flaps will go in. Yes, couldn't remember if it was in or out. So these little flaps will go in and this flap will come out like this. So we're going to go ahead and attach these, and again I'm just going to use my Tombow and just get that glue on there. So when we fold this up, I don't want those to fling, these will come forward. And just going to take my bone folder and kind of rub that into position there. Alright, so with the Tombow, it's going to take a minute to adhere completely. So just have to be patient. You can absolutely use score tape or red liner tape or, you know, whatever you want on this side pieces here. Okay, so we're going to give that a minute to dry, but this is what you should have so far. So this is going to be your main pocket for your A2 size cards. Then we're going to work on the two little pockets that go in the front here. Close up my glue. And those little pockets are right here. So I usually do the small pocket on the left side and the larger pocket on the right side, but if you want to flip-flop them, it's totally up to you. And the small pocket is 4.5 by 2 inches, and we're going to score that. So 4.5 by 2, and this one we're going to score I gotta look at this note. Okay, we're gonna score at 1/2 and 1 inch on both sides. So here's one side, we're gonna score at 1/2 inch, and then we're gonna score at 1. So we should have 2 score marks. So we're gonna flip it around and we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna score 1/2 and 1. Okay. So our large pocket is actually going to be 5.5 inches by 2, and we're going to do the same thing. 1/2 and 1, and then turn it around and do 1/2 and 1. Okay, so now we're going to mat our pockets, of course, since they're going to be so much easier to mat while they're flat. And your small pocket matting is going to be 2 3/8 by 1 7/8. And then your pattern is going to be 2 1/4 by 1 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and get these matted on here. And then we'll do the large one. Get them all glued down. So there's that. These actually make really, really cute gifts. And you can always make extra cards and tags for the recipient to refill the box when they run out. Okay, so there's our little pocket matted. We're going to mat the large pocket, and it's going to be 3 3/8 by 1 7/8. And then your designer paper is going to be 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, so get this one on here. I think my other one's a little off. I think I centered it all the way, but what do you do? I would normally tear it off or actually lift it with my little spatula and then place it down again, but for video's sake, I'm not going to do that. Alright, so we're going to center this one on this pocket, and then we're going to get our pockets put together. So, whoops, that one just fell down. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and score, or not score, fold on your score marks. All our little flaps here. This part takes me a couple minutes because I like to make sure that they are lined up just right. So you can always, if you're quicker than me, you can fast forward through this part. Alright, so I'm going to take my front and I'm going to kind of bend it back a little. And here comes the Tombow again. And you want to make sure if you're using a directional piece, like this little flag has hearts on it, I want to make sure that it's going to be facing the right direction. So, on your little flaps here, your flaps will fold in like this. So on this top side here is where you're going to put your glue. Whoops. Just like that. And then we're going to basically line it up on the corner here, on the edge, and just press that down. You can kind of move it to get it lined up. That's the beauty about using the liquid glue. And then you're going to do the same thing with your second flap. I'm going to turn this around so we can kind of see that this is going to line up nice and squarely. Okay, so this part I just like taking my bone folder in there and pressing that side down because it's much easier than trying to get your hand in there. Whoops. Okay, and then we're going to do our larger pocket. And then after I get this larger pocket, I'm going to have to switch the battery in my camera, so we will come back for actual part 2 of this. So sorry to kind of cut it off, but yeah, my battery was fine, and now it's looking like it's gonna cut out, and I don't want that to happen. So again, we're gonna line this one up on this side, hoping my head is not in the way. Okay, so we'll just press that down, and you can kind of move it to the edge there, and then with your other piece, it should just line up with the other one. And again, just take your bone folder and just kind of line that up and press that down. So there we have our pockets, all of our pockets. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to switch my battery out, and then I'm going to come back for part 2 of the stationery box. So stay tuned, and I will be back in the next video. Bye!